My name is Maria Santos, just an ordinary woman from the bustling streets of Manila. I was like you, caught up in the grind, scrolling endlessly through Instagram, chasing likes, chasing dreams, drowning in the noise of city life. But one morning, my world stopped. A sharp burning pain tore through my chest. I collapsed on my kitchen floor, gasping, my hands trembling, my vision fading to black. I died. Yes, died. But what came next was beyond anything I could have imagined. In that moment, I met Jesus Christ. His light was blinding, His love overwhelming, wrapping me in peace I'd never known. He showed me a terrifying truth, a future where technology, greed, and lies will chain humanity. It's called the Mark of the Beast, and it's creeping closer, hiding behind your screens, your apps, your everyday choices. It's a trap to steal your freedom, your faith, your soul. Can you face this reality? Are you brave enough to hear what He told me to prepare for what's coming? This isn't just my story. It's a warning, a wake-up call, a spark of hope for you, for all of us. Time is running out. Listen now. Close your eyes and imagine Manila in 2025, a city pulsing with life, yet heavy with struggle. Jeepneys weave through traffic, their horns blaring, while vendors in Quiapo Market call out, "Balut, fresh balut skyscrapers, gleam in Makati, casting shadows over shanties, in Tondo, where dreams feel like distant stars." That was my world, my home. I'm Maria Santos, 35, a Filipina, like so many of you caught in the grind of urban life. I lived in a cramped apartment in Quezon City with my nanayana 60 and my younger sister Liza 28. Our home was modest faded paint, a creaky fan, a small Santo Niño altar glowing with candles. We were a family bound by love, praying together every night, sharing plates of adobo and sinigang on Sundays, laughing over teleserye dramas until tears streamed down our faces. Nani's voice, soft and wise, would fill the room. Maria Liza always trust in God. But trust, it was slipping through my fingers, lost in the chaos of a city that never slept. My days were a blur. I worked at a call center in Ortigas, handling angry customers from across the globe, my headset glued to my ears, my eyes glued to a screen. The shifts were brutal, 12 hours, sometimes 14, with a boss who barked faster Maria quotas. Don't wait, I dragged myself home at dawn, my body aching, my mind numb, only to open Instagram. Scroll, swipe, repeat. Friends posted selfies from Boracay new cars engagement rings. Their lives sparkled while mine felt dull, inadequate. Why wasn't I there? Why couldn't I afford that? My likes didn't stack up. My savings barely covered Nani's medicines, Lisa's tuition, our rising rent. I was the eighth, the eldest, the one who had to make it work. But I was failing. My dreams of opening a cozy cafe with wooden tables and the smell of pandesal, of traveling to Palawan's turquoise waters, felt like childish scribbles in a notebook I'd long abandoned. Manila's weight pressed harder every day. Traffic jams stretched for hours. Fares ate into my budget, and news of typhoons or corrupt officials filled the airwaves, reminding me how fragile our stability was. I'd see families on the streets, kids begging near SM Mall, and my heart would twist. I wanted to help, but how I was barely holding on. Church was my refuge. Person's cool stone walls, the scent of incense, the choir's hymns lifting my soul. I'd light candles for Nani's health, for Liza's future, for strength. But my prayers felt hollow, mechanical. "God, are you even listening?" I'd whisper, staring at the crucifix. My faith was fraying, drowned out by deadlines, bills, and the endless noise of comparison. Nani saw it. "Maria, anak, rest. God carries your burdens." But rest, that was a luxury I couldn't afford. I pushed harder, took extra shifts, ignored the headaches, the chest tightness, the quiet voice inside pleading. "Stop, Maria, stop." Then it came a moment that shattered everything. It was a humid Tuesday morning, the kind where the air clings to your skin. I was in our tiny kitchen brewing cheap coffee, the bitter aroma mixing with the smog drifting through our open window. Lisa was humming a P-pop song, flipping through her phone. Nanay was folding clothes, humming an old Conde Man. A normal morning, right? I reached for my mug, planning my day work groceries, maybe a quick post on Instagram to feel seen. But then, a jolt. A sharp searing pain ripped through my chest like a blade twisting deep. My breath caught. My knees buckled, my mug crashed to the floor, coffee splashing across the tiles. Nanay, I gasped, my voice breaking barely a whisper, my hands clawed at the counter nails, scraping desperate to hold on. My vision blurred colors, bleeding into gray. My heart hammering, pounding, screaming to escape my ribs. I collapsed, my body crumpling onto the cold linoleum. Liza's scream piercing the air. No nanay's cries followed Maria. Anak, hold on. I fumbled for my phone, fingers, shaking vision fading somehow, dialing 911. Help! Please! I choked the words, barely forming. The phone slipped from my hand, clattering beside me. The world tilted, spawn darkened. My breath stopped, my heart stilled. I was gone dead on that cracked kitchen floor, surrounded by the fragments of a life I'd fought so hard to hold together. Liza's sobs, Nani's prayers, the distant wail of an ambulance. They faded into silence. But this wasn't the end. Oh no, it was the beginning of something far greater, something I could never have imagined. Darkness, silence. That's all I knew as my body lay lifeless on that cracked kitchen floor in Quezon City, coffee pooling around me. Liza's screams fading like a distant echo. But then, a shift, a gentle pull like a tide drawing me upward, away from the pain, the weight, the chaos of Manila. I was no longer bound to my body. I was free, weightless, floating. I looked down and saw it me crumpled, pale nanay cradling my head sobbing. Maria, anak, don't leave us. Paramedics rushed in. Their voices muffled, their hands pressing against my chest. But I felt no fear, no sorrow. Instead, a warmth enveloped me, a peace so profound, it was like coming home after a lifetime of wandering. Where was I going? What was this? A light appeared soft at first, then growing pulsing alive. It wasn't like the neon signs of Divisoria or the harsh fluorescence of my call center. This light had a heartbeat, a presence, wrapping me in love so pure I could hardly bear it. I was drawn toward it, pulled into a tunnel, not cold or narrow, but vast, shimmering with colors I'd never seen, like the chorus of Palawan dancing under a heavenly sea. Music filled the air, not like the P-pop Liza loved, but a symphony of voices, angelic, resonating in my soul. It was joy, it was truth, it was God. As I moved through this tunnel, memories flooded me vivid, alive, like I was living them again. I saw myself as a child, running through Quiapo streets, Nanay braiding my hair, teaching me to pray the rosary. I saw Sundays at Paraso in church, my voice blending with the choir, my heart soaring as I sang Ama Namin. I saw moments I'd forgotten, sharing mangoes with Liza, under a jeepney shade comforting Clara after her first heartbreak. Even the painful times, nights crying over bills, scrolling Instagram in despair, felt meaningful, woven into a tapestry of purpose I hadn't understood. The tunnel widened, and I sensed presences, radiant beings of light, each glowing with love. One stepped forward, and my heart leapt. It was Lola Rosa, my grandmother, who'd passed when I was 15. Her face wrinkled yet radiant, shone with the same warmth she'd had when she'd slip me candies during Mass. Maria, my apo, she said, not with words, but with her soul, her love washing over me like a wave. You are so loved always. Tears I had no body yet. I felt them streamed as she embraced me, her presence erasing every doubt, every fear. Another figure appeared, Clara, my best friend, gone too soon in a car accident 3 years ago. Her laughter, that infectious giggle, filled the air. Maria, you carried me in your heart, she said, her eyes sparkling. Keep carrying love. Their presence was a reminder of family, of faith, of the connections that tethered me to something greater, even when I'd felt so lost in Manila's grind. The light grew brighter, warmer, and I knew I was about to meet him. The tunnel opened into a realm beyond description, no walls, no sky, just an endless expanse of radiance alive with colors that danced like fiestas in my soul. The air hummed with energy, every particle singing of love of eternity. And there he was, Jesus Christ. His presence was overwhelming, yet intimate, like a friend who'd known me forever. His light was brighter than 1,000 suns, yet soft like the candles at our Santo Niño altar. He was both the humble carpenter of Nazareth, with kind eyes and calloused hands, and the King of Kings, his glory filling the realm with awe. I fell to my knees, not in fear, but in reverence, my heart laid bare. Every flaw, every failure, my envy on Instagram, my fading faith, my anger at life's unfairness was exposed, yet I felt no shame. Only love, boundless, unconditional, pouring from him like a river. He stepped closer, his eyes locking with mine, seeing every corner of my soul. I was known fully, deeply, and still cherished. Maria. He said, his voice not in my ears, but in my heart, warm, steady, like a father's embrace. My beloved child, you are here for a purpose. You've wandered, but you are never lost to me. I have a message for my children, a truth you must carry back. Do not be afraid, for I am with you always. His words were a balm healing wounds I didn't know I carried. The exhaustion of my call center shifts, the sting of comparison, the ache of feeling unseen. He smiled, and it was like the sunrise over Manila Bay, radiant, full of promise. Come, he said, extending his hand. See what I will show you, and let my love guide you. I took his hand, though I had no physical form, and felt a connection stronger than anything on earth. The realm shifted the light, focusing, purposeful. I knew this was no ordinary moment. This was a divine calling, a mission to witness a truth that would change me and the world forever. My heart trembled, not with fear, but with awe. What was he about to reveal? Jesus' light enveloped me, his presence a warm embrace, calming my trembling soul. The heavenly realm shimmered colors dancing like a Cebu fiesta, but the solemn hush fell heavy with purpose. His hand steady and kind held mine, grounding me. Maria, he said, his voice echoing like hymns at Baraswin Church, rich with love. My child, see the truth I show you. Warn my people to prepare with faith, with love, for trials are near. The light parted like a curtain, unveiling a vision so vivid it seared my heart, a world unraveling yet hauntingly like my Manila, my home. I saw Quiapo's bustling streets once alive with jeepney horns and vendors' calls, now eerily silent, patrolled by drones, their red lights blinking like predators in the smog. The Pasig River, swollen from relentless typhoons, swept away Tondo's shanties, leaving families clinging to debris, their children's eyes hollow with hunger. EDSA's billboards, once flashing Jollibee smiles, now pushed a new system, cashless tied to facial scans, promising peace and prosperity. Crowds cheered their voices, desperate, believing this was salvation. A leader emerged to smile, dazzling his words. Smooth broadcasts on every phone, every screen in Manila. Join us, he urged, for a better world. People wept, flocking to him. Some priests even calling him God's answer, quoting scriptures. But my heart sank heavy with dread. This was the Antichrist, his charm a mask for darkness, his power rooted in lies. My soul cried out, Maria, he deceives because they forget my voice. But those who seek me will see the truth clear as day. The mark of the beast wasn't just a chip. It was a system, a choice to reject God's sovereignty. Cash was gone. Digital IDs controlled rice medicine jeepney fares. Refusing meant no food, no jobs, no life in Manila's chaos. I saw mothers in Quezon City, tears streaming down their faces. Sign up whispering, for my anak, I have no choice. At dinner tables, families clashed. A daughter clutching her rosary begged, Tatay, it's against God, while her father shouted, we must survive. TikTok stars and influencers flooded screens, praising the mark as progress, their posts drowning out the truth. Those who resisted were vilified, labeled extremists, their faces plastered on EDSA signs, warning report non-compliers. I saw a young man in Tondo, his eyes fierce with faith, refuse the mark. He was dragged away, his mother's screams piercing the air. My son, my son. The pressure was insidious, preying on the fear of hunger, of being cast out, of losing everything. My heart broke, seeing Manila's spirit fracture under this cruel deception. Yet in the darkness, hope flickered like candles at a novena. In Tondo's slums, believers gathered in secret, sharing adobo, praying Ama Namin in whispered voices. Their faces glowed with a peace that defied their hardship. A woman gave her last tinapa to a neighbor who'd refused the mark. A teenager risked all to sneak food to outcasts. Their courage was a fire-inspiring song who'd taken the mark to turn back repenting despite the cost. I wept not in despair, but in awe at their faith. Jesus' gaze met mine, his eyes blending sorrow and hope. Maria, tell my children, prepare your hearts now. The mark tests their faith, but my grace is stronger. Pray love one another, stand united, and my light will guide you through the storm. The vision sharpened on the Philippines. Typhoons ravaged our islands. Corruption festered, churches stood empty as community centers pushed the mark's lies. But believers resisted, praying in Cebu's hills, sharing in secret barangays. Their strength stirred my soul, a call to action. Jesus' hand rested on me, his voice a beacon of hope. Go, Maria. This is not a message of fear, but of hope. Teach them to seek me, to build communities, to choose me over the world's lies. I am with them forever to the end of the age. His words ignited my spirit, a mission to warn, to inspire. As the vision faded, its truth burned within me, a fire to carry back to Manila's broken streets, to light a world on the edge. The vision of a world on the brink faded. Its images drones over Quiapo families torn apart, believers shining in the darkness, etched into my soul like a sacred tattoo. I stood in the radiant realm, Jesus' presence still enveloping me, his light a beacon in the storm of what I just witnessed. My heart was heavy, yet alive with purpose, trembling with the weight of the truth I'd seen. The heavenly colors swirled around us, vibrant like the festivals of Cebu, but now they felt focused, intentional, as if the entire realm was holding its breath. Jesus turned to me, his eyes piercing yet tender, like the glow of candles at our Santo Niño altar back home. I felt exposed, yet cherished, every doubt and fear laid bare before him. What now? Would I stay in this peace forever, or was there more to my journey? He stepped closer, his presence both majestic and intimate, like a father welcoming his child after a long absence. His hand rested on my shoulder, warm, grounding, sending waves of strength through my being. Maria. He said, his voice a melody of love, resonating deeper than any hymn I'd sung at Parason Church. My beloved daughter, you have seen the trials that await my children. The mark of the beast will test their faith, but my love is stronger, my grace is sufficient. I am sending you back not to instill fear, but to spark hope, to awaken hearts, to call my people to me. His words were a fire kindling, a resolve I didn't know I had. Me, a simple call center worker from Quezon City, chosen for this, I wanted to protest, to say I wasn't worthy, that I'd failed too many times, my fading faith, my envy on Instagram, my anger at life's unfairness. But his gaze silenced my doubts, seeing me not as I was, but as I could be. I fell to my knees, overwhelmed my soul weeping, though I had no tears. Why me, Lord? I whispered, my voice trembling. I'm nobody, just Maria, struggling to pay bills to keep Nani and Liza safe. How can I carry this message? He knelt beside me, his light wrapping me like the warm Manila sun after a typhoon. Maria. I choose the humble, the broken, the ones who know their need for me. You are enough because I am with you. Your heart, your story, your love for your family, these are my tools to reach others. Go back. Tell them to prepare their hearts, to seek me in prayer, to love one another as I love you. His voice was gentle yet urgent, like a father entrusting his child with a precious gift. I saw flashes of my live Nani's prayers, Liza's laughter, the faces of strangers in Quiapo Market, all waiting for this truth. I realized this wasn't just about me. It was about them, about every soul lost in Manila's chaos, scrolling through lies, chasing empty dreams. He lifted me to my feet, his touch igniting a courage I'd never known. The realm pulsed with energy, as if heaven itself was commissioning me. But Lord, I said, my voice steadier, now the world is so divided, so blind. They'll mock me, doubt me, just like they did before. He smiled a smile that held the promise of eternity, like the sunrise over Manila Bay. Yes, some will reject you, but others will listen. Plant the seeds, Maria. My spirit will water them. You are not alone. I am with you in every step, every word, every tear. Carry my love, and it will light the way, even in the darkest times. His words were a vow, a sacred promise that filled me with peace, with purpose. I nodded, my heart swelling, ready to accept this mission, though I knew it would be hard, that Manila's streets would test me, that my own fears would try to pull me back. The light around us softened, and I felt a gentle tug, like the tide pulling me back to earth. Jesus held my gaze, his eyes brimming with love, with trust. Go, Maria, my brave one. Tell my children I am coming soon. Tell them to hold fast, to choose me over the world, to build communities of faith and love. I will never leave them, not for a moment. His final words echoed in my soul, a song I'd carry forever. The realm began to fade, the colors blending into a warm glow, the music of heaven softening to a whisper. I felt myself descending, the peace of his presence still with me, his love a shield against the trials ahead. I wasn't just returning to my body, to that cracked kitchen floor in Quezon City. I was returning with a mission of fire, a hope to warn, to inspire, to bring light to a world on the edge. As the heavenly realm slipped away, I clung to his promise I was never alone. A sharp gasp ripped through me, my eyes snapping open to the harsh glare of a Quezon City hospital ceiling. Machines beeped, antiseptic stung my nose, and Nanay Ana's tear-stained face hovered above her hands, clutching mine. Maria, anak, you're alive, she sobbed, pressing a worn rosary into my palm. Lisa, my sister, stood beside her, tears streaming, her voice breaking. At we thought we lost you, my throat was dry, my chest heavy with the weight of returning to my body, but a fire blazed within a fire, kindled by Jesus' voice, his light, his mission. I wasn't the Maria who'd collapsed in her kitchen, coffee mug shattering. I was reborn, my soul alight with purpose, ready to carry a truth that could shake Manila's streets. Doctors called it a miracle. My heart had stopped for minutes, yet here I was breathing whole. But I knew Jesus sent me back, not to live my old life, but to warn, to inspire. As Nanay prayed novenas, Lisa read psalms, I saw the vision again, drones over Quiapo, the mark of the beast. Believers, unshakable faith. Doubt crept in, whispering, Maria, who'll believe you? You're just a call center worker, no one special. But his voice echoed, I am with you always. I clung to that promise, my heart pounding with resolve. I had to try, no matter the cost, for Nanay, for Liza, for every soul in the Philippines. Leaving the hospital, Manila felt different, fragile, like a stage set for the trials I'd seen. Jeepneys rattled, smog choked the air. EDSA's chaos pulsed, but it all seemed temporary, fleeting. I quit my call center job, its endless shifts draining my spirit. I deleted my Instagram, freeing myself from the chains of likes, envy, and comparison. No more scrolling through strangers' perfect lives. Instead, I turned to what mattered, my faith, my family, my mission. I started with Nanay and Liza, sharing my story over adobo and rice. Nani's eyes widened, nodding, Anak, God has chosen you. Lisa, skeptical, frowned at the drones, Antichrist really. But as I spoke of Jesus' love, his radiant light, her doubt softened. She hugged me, whispering, I believe you, Ad. Their support was my anchor, a spark to keep going. I began speaking at our barangay church, a humble chapel with a creaky Santo Niño statue and peeling paint. My hands shook, my voice faltered, but the words poured out. The mark, the deception, the call to prepare, with prayer, community, hope. Some parishioners wept, clutching rosaries, murmuring, Salamat Dios. Others scoffed, whispering Maria's lost her mind. An auntie muttered, Stick to work, not preaching. The rejection stung sharp as a knife, but Jesus' word steadied me. Some will reject you, others will listen. So I pressed on, sharing at churches in Manila Cavite, even reaching Cebu. I warned of the mark's subtle lure: digital IDs, cashless systems, urging people to seek God, not the world's lies. The response was a storm of light and shadow. A jeepney driver, Kuya Ben, started a Bible study in his garage, his voice booming. We'll stand with God, kahit mahirap. A Tondo teacher, Ate Celia, fed families hit by typhoons, saying, Maria, you woke us up. But mockery followed. Coworkers posted Prophet Maria memes, laughing at my conspiracy tales. A cousin unfriended me texting, you're scaring everyone, stop. Some priests warned, don't trust her visions. Each jab hurt, but Nani's prayers at our altar, Lord, guide my anak, kept me strong. I saw signs: digital payments, rising typhoons, worsening corruption festering, and felt the urgency of Jesus' call. I built a network of believers, meeting in secret barangays, sharing rice, prayers, hope. We helped Tondo's poor kids, begging near SM Mall families displaced by floods, giving clothes, food, love. A mother ailing Rosa grabbed my hand, tears falling. Maria, your story brought me back to God. Those moments fueled me. My faith, once frayed, was now my rock, rooted in Jesus' love. I found joy in Nani's Adobo Liza's laughter mass hymns. I wasn't perfect, I feared failure, cried at rejection, but I trusted him. Manila's shanties, its skyscrapers, its chaos was my mission field, and I was ready, heart ablaze, to face it. As I stood in our Quezon City apartment, the Santo Niño altar glowing softly, I felt the weight of my journey settle in my soul. The vision, the drones over Quiapo, the mark of the beast. The believer's courage was no mere dream. It was a divine call, etched into my heart by Jesus himself. Manila's chaos swirled outside jeepneys, honking typhoon warnings on the radio, digital ads flashing on EDSA. But inside, I found peace. My life, once tethered to Instagram likes and call center quotas, was now anchored in faith and purpose. Nanay Ana's prayers, Liza's laughter, the hymns at Parason Church, they were my strength reminders of why I was sent back. This wasn't about fear. It was about hope, about God's victory, about a love that could light even the darkest corners of our world. I looked at Manila, my home, and saw the signs. Digital payments were everywhere. GCash Paymaya apps tracking every peso. News of corruption and typhoons filled our screens, while influencers pushed a shiny cashless future. It was the world I'd seen creeping closer, subtle yet relentless. But Jesus' words rang clear, I have overcome the world. His victory was certain, his love unbreakable. I saw it in the believers I'd met: Kuya Ben, sharing rice in his garage Bible study. Ate Celia, feeding Tondos hungry. Aling Rosa, praying with her children again. Their faith was a beacon proof that God's light shines brightest in the storm. And I knew this was my mission, not to scare, but to awaken, to call others, to stand firm, to choose love over fear, God over the world. So hear me, my friends, my kababayans, this story. My story is for you. The trials are coming. Systems that promise peace but demand your soul, screens that dazzle but blind you to truth, pressures that divide families, communities, hearts. You'll see it in Manila's streets, in the apps on your phone, in the news that tells you to conform. But don't be afraid. Jesus is with us. His grace our shield, His love our guide. He's calling you now to prepare, not just with rice or medicine, with your heart. Open your Bible, pray the rosary, gather with your family, your barangay, your church. Build communities of faith, like those I saw in the vision, sharing adobo, singing Ama Namin, helping the poor in Tondo slums. Stand together, not divided by likes or lies. Be the light even when the world calls you foolish. Look around. The kids begging near SM Mall, the families hit by typhoons, the workers crushed by debt, they need you. Share what you have, your food, your time, your love. Resist the pull of a world that tracks your every move, that trades your freedom for convenience. Choose God always. His victory is coming as sure as the sunrise over Manila Bay. I've seen it, felt it, known it in my soul. And I'm here, a simple Filipina, telling you, you're not alone. Jesus walks with you in every struggle, every doubt, every step. So rise up, kababayans, start today. Pray with your nanny, hug your Liza, help your neighbor. Turn off your phone, open your heart, and listen for his voice. The mark may come, but so will he triumphant, glorious, eternal. Hold fast to his love, and you'll find strength no system can break. This is my call to you. Live for God. Love fiercely, prepare now. Together, we'll light up Manila, the Philippines, the world. Salamat sa Diyos, for He is with us always. Maria Santos' journey is more than a story. Kababayans, it's a divine wake-up call. Jesus revealed a world on the brink where lies hide behind screens, where the mark of the beast tempts us to trade faith for convenience. But His message burns bright. Hope conquers fear, love defeats deception, and His victory is certain. He's coming radiant like the sunrise over Manila Bay to claim His faithful. Don't be swayed by apps tracking your every move, by promises of a cashless world that chains your soul. Prepare your heart today. Pray the rosary with your nanay, hold your Lisa close, share adobo with neighbors in Tondo slums. Help those battered by typhoons, lift up the kids, begging near SM Mall. Build communities of faith stronger than any storm, rooted in God's truth, not TikTok's lies. Together, we can shine His light across the Philippines, from Quezon City to Cebu. This isn't about fear. It's about courage, about choosing Jesus every day. Start now. Open your Bible, pray love fiercely. Subscribe to our channel. Share Maria's story. Comment your thoughts below. Tell us how you're preparing. Every click, every share spreads His hope further. Join us, kababayans, in this mission. Let's rise up, united, and light up the world for Jesus. Salamat sa Diyos, for He's with us always forever.